Hello there. This is Cookies. I've got turn 63 of Ba. We cast Teleport. This is to return back to Hubbarton, but he won't be able to participate in a battle on Hubbarton. He'll be inside the fort. I also did a couple of bowls of blood, did a bunch of hunting, and let's go ahead and dive into the big fight, which is in Hubbarton. So Agartha did end up choosing to attack Hubbarton. You can see the army here. Now the mages in this particular battle are much more exposed. They only have a couple of guards. There's a few magma kids here for attack rear bait. And we have the great olms, a double line of sentinels, and then we have shard guard and magma kids on either flank, and some shard guards on shark whites on the left flank. And over here we have the Grand Army of Nabah. So we have the line of Janguard, we've got the Mercs, we have more groups of Janguard in the rear, and most of this stuff is planning to engage via Soaring Army. And then we have a fair number of mages as well. So let's go ahead and see how we do. So in terms of, if you remember, this guy had 2 Earth Gems remaining, and it looks like he's planning to do Marble Warriors with them. And now he's got 1 gem remaining. We'll keep an eye out on what he does with that gem. We doom his army. We do put up Wailing Winds, we put up Divine Channeling, and you can see we get a great surround on his mages with the attack rear. So we've got Earth Soul down to 5 damage. We've already got this guy down to -6. As a reminder, they do have an Undying Bless. And we've got this guy down to 23 HP, but with a boatload of poison. And we've also fallen on the Great Olms. Additionally, we've got some scattered stuff in here. Give me 1 second. So a lot of our fire mages cast Nest of Salamanders, so we got a bunch of these Salamander Asp critters, and what's funny about that is we cast a bunch of those just in time for Soaring Army to go off, so a lot of them are little flying snakes now. So they're getting right in there as well, and then we've got a few of the imps from the lifelong protections. We're also working down these magma kits first as well. We're also rocking Mists of Deception. Now you can see here, I believe we've killed the last Agarthan commander. So this is all of their leadership is down, so they should be about to rout. You can see it here, the shard whites are running, and the sentinels are dissolving. This is what I wanted to see early in the previous fight. It was just a big amount of HP just dissolving, causing an HP rout. I mean, if stuff wasn't already routing from having no leadership and just killing a lot of stuff with huge stat penalty debuffs. So that's what we're going to focus on here. You can see we've got these great olms completely surrounded. Yeah, we've got some. They probably don't need to do the big AoE attacks when everyone's already running away. But that's what they're choosing to do. Yeah, I kind of. It's just like gifts from heaven. I wish they'd stop when the enemy was already defeated. Alright, we're also stealing a fair number of them. You can see that with some of the enslaved mind spam from the communion. There we go. Alright, so that looked a lot cleaner. Let's go ahead and see how it went. So we wiped this army as well. And looks like only 4 Shard Guard escaped. We lost no mages this time, which is great. So we've cleaned up our scripting. We only lost 3 Jangard, also great. We didn't lose 60 something. 3 is much, much better. And the rest of our casualties were either wolves or mercs, so we don't care about any of those. Lobo Guard, militia, spearmen, swordsmen, don't care. And we ended up gaining 2 shard whites and 15 sacreds. So we've managed to turn 3 of our Jangard into 15 shard guard, which is, I think, a good trade. So on the whole, we've mostly just spent mage turns and gems on this fight, which is exactly how I like to take my late game fights. I want them to be clean so I can keep using the army. Alright. So we managed to use our research advantage to much greater effect in Hubbarton, so we're doing a lot better there. And let's see how the other raiding around that went. So Agartha's cleaning up our raid in Silver World. You can see just mind blasting away. So it kills 1 PD. We go ahead and raid into the halls. So we've got the camel raid and we've got the Jangard. And they're going up against a few cavemen. They kill the commander with the falcons. And then the camels follow up. And then we have the attack with... Yeah, and I think that's most of it. And then we have an Asphodel battle where Asphodel's moving... Oh, storming a Migden. So there's some ancient stone hurlers here and some defenders of the halls. So he's going to have to work his way through that, but he brought some draconians to help, so that'll go a long way. They go ahead and break open the wall, get a little bit of an HP route going, and he's going to clean up there. So loses 1 draconian, 19 mannequins. We get attacked in the Mist-Covered Highlands from an event. We have 8 earth gems stolen. And we get a bunch of unrest, and we get +8 PD. So clearly our luck skills are working hard. And so in Dragon Ridge, we get attacked by this one master who has some gems. And he's got these really cool alchemical amalgams, which have shock, explosion on death, ethereal, and they also have some shock resistance and a spectral sword. So they're pretty cool. And over here we have our Blood Hunt Patrol Chaff. So we have some Hin, we have some PD, and we've got some Jangard and Draconians. And it looks like the Falcons have sniped the Windmaster from the camels, and notably the Amalgams are not mindless, so they're going to legitimately try to run off the map, which is also kind of cool. So we end up defending against that. We lose 2 Desert Warriors from the PD, probably from heat auras. And then we patrol out of Black Harpy in Hubbarton, so we know Asphodel saw that fight. And let's see. And we also finished our giant fortress in Cavern of Talk, so that was nice. So we've disarmed a couple of these Shaitan. We're going to send them over to do some blood hunting in Silent Cavern. We're going to send this guy out. He's got an LLP, so he's going to probably be a more aggressively used Shaitan, and this Shaitan was given some blood boosters to do a blood site search up to blood 4, which I believe is the maximum that sites can appear at for blood. I could be wrong. But he's going to go ahead and search it at blood 4. Additionally, since this front is now cleaned up, all we need to do is take Baypon, so we're sending an overwhelming force in case it's he does a PD dump, I guess. So it'll be some Jangard, the Shard Guard, and some Mercs. But predominantly, the main army is going to move up to Scrap Point. So we've still got these Mercs, we've still got Jangard. It's a similar script. One thing that I noticed, I think just yesterday, was I did mass regen, and this needs to be army regeneration to be able to cover the whole army. So I do have a pretty significant scripting error here that I'll need to clean up. But otherwise, yeah, it's mostly the same. We still have Mist of Deception, we still have Wailing Winds, Gift of Fury is Firefend, and Soaring Army should also be on here. Oh, we added in some Earth Boots to Caribs to do Steel Slice Warriors. And I think I'm going to end up fixing this guy's script to do Soaring Army. I could be wrong. Or maybe there was a Malika that was going to come up and do that. Go ahead and check one more time, just towards the bottom. Wailing Winds, Mist of Deception. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna have to probably swap this lady because she's astral, so she can join the communion and do Soaring Army. I can probably swap out Mist of Deception. So I think those are going to be my only major edits to the script. And especially with Wailing Winds, I'm trying to make the battle shorter, so Mist of Deception is for something for drawing out the battle, so it just seems not as useful. And yeah, I think that's it for this one. So we're going to start going on the attack towards Mountains of Mist. And we see a gigantic man army here. So we're going to try and catch the grand showdown between Man and Asphodel. I really want to see it, but I hope I know they've been fighting their 1v1 for a long time, but I'll be interested to see who ends up winning it. And otherwise, our two little raiding parties here are going to travel to the below, but they're not going to raid it. I think it's too obvious. So the force here, even though it's mostly militia, there's probably enough in here that they could go to the below and block that raid. So we're going to go ahead and just stealth move here, and then we'll think about Mines of Despair. Okay. And I think that's most of it. So I'll go ahead and see you in turn 64. Have a good one. Yeah. Have a good one. Later.